Yes, it's the season for finding music. And to continue today's adventures in finding music, we have Jim Babwe.
Well, I did something a little bit unconventional, and I went
Isn't that your
back
middle
to
name?
yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was.
It was.
But
Now it's just
you
kind of like
shortened it?
now it's unique.
Oh, like it.
I got into watching some YouTube videos
Hmm?
and I got fascinated with some drummers. And the one drummer who really stood out from the rest was Buddy Rich.
Oh, yeah.
If you get a chance to see him do solos, one I'm thinking of is on the Johnny Carson show. Another one where he has like a drum off with Gene Krupa. Another one, there's Jerry Lewis, believe it or not. But Buddy Rich just seems to defy physical reality. I mean, the guy was amazing. Um,
Many
you know,
consider him the greatest drummer of all time.
I don't know. I'm not an expert in drummers, but
Hmm.
he'd have to be up there. He would have to be up there ranking with, the greatest. I mean, um, just spectacular, absolutely spectacular. So if you get a chance, go to YouTube, uh, enter into the search box, enter Buddy Rich Impossible Drums, and there's a great video that you'll find. It'll probably come up first on that search. Um, yeah, Buddy Rich Impossible Drums.
Got it?
Born in 1917, died in 1987. Born in New York, died in Los Angeles. Britannica describes him as an American jazz drum virtuoso who accompanied major big bands before forming his own popular big band in the 1960s. So you can look up his
Kind of
biographical
late for
info.
big bands in the 1960s.
Yeah, but he started playing. He worked with Tommy Dorsey from the time he was like 21 until
Oh, yeah.
1942. Yeah, so he was
30s.
30s and 40s, very active in the 50s too. Harry James in the 50s and the early 60s, and enlisted in the Marines, 1942 to 44. Toured frequently with
You said
jazz.
one of the videos featured him and Gene Krupa.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Gene Krupa had quite the reputation as well.
Yep. Yep.
So I'm a bit of a Gene Krupa fan.
Yeah. I mean, different kind of drumming. Krupa, I think, favored more of a syncopated style. And
Yeah, he had
Buddy Rich is
swing.
just insane. Buddy Rich is just insane. He's just going wild. He's a wild man on the drums, you know? And the idea that you could do this and then that with your foot, to me, that's like trying to rub your head and pat your stomach, you know?
Mm-hmm. Well,
So
I
that's my
understand that Buddy
contribution
Rich
for this week.
inspired Keith Moon. Keith Moon's son, one of his heroes was Buddy Rich.
Really?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. They're
Yeah,
both
no
kind of all
surprise
over the
there.
place drummers.
I have a friend who's a drummer, and one of his idols is Ringo Starr. He says Ringo Starr is just really steady.
And Ringo Starr's famous for being the left-handed drummer, so he has a different pattern than most
Really?
drummers, which makes him like supposedly lazy on the beat, little slow on the beat, which is actually gives him a certain type of swing that
Hmm,
is hard to replicate unless you're left-handed. That's what I heard.
interesting.
And he said the only drummer who was simpler than him was Charlie Watts.
Oh,
Yeah.
Elvin Jones had all those drum battles with Ginger Baker.
Oh,
Oh
geez, Ginger
yeah,
Baker.
Ginger
Yeah,
Baker. Yeah.
Ginger Baker. Yeah.
Yeah. I have to bring up the best of the hitters, John Bonham.
John
Uh,
Bonham.
He played
Yeah.
drums. You knew it.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Hard to imitate. All these drummers we're naming, they have their own unique individual style and impossible to imitate them. We can only appreciate them on YouTube.
Who's
Okay.
the drummer for Red Hot Chili Peppers? His name is Chad. Is it Chad? I forget his name. There on one episode, on one show of the Jimmy Fallon show, it's he has a drum off with Will Ferrell. that's worth watching too.
Oh, yeah. Wasn't he a funny guy, Will Ferrell?
He's a funny
Serious
guy.
drummer, huh? Hmm,
He's a funny
interesting.
Uh,
I'll have to make a note of that one too.
You know who else was a decent drummer? Was Sammy Davis Jr.
oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
you could look him up too. I found some videos of his drumming too. Pretty amazing.
Oh, that was a Jimmy Fallon show, you said?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Noted. Get drumming
Thank
on
you.
YouTube, people. Zimbabwe says so. You know he's right. Okay.
Well.
Yeah, he's right.